Finally, item 10E, receive a report and provide direction to staff regarding the Olympic Wastewater Pump Station Rehabilitation and Force Main Replacement Project.
Honorable Mayor, Council members, the purpose of the presentation tonight is to provide you with information on the Olympic pump station and to seek your input and direction for this project. The rehabilitation of the need for the rehabilitation of the Olympic pump station was included in our 2001 wastewater master plan. Subsequently, the project was included in our capital improvement plan with the intent to rehabilitate this pump station. Our thinking later further evolved, and with the intent to use gravity for the sewer discharge instead of pumping the sewer, the scope of the project was modified to include an abandonment of this pump station with the intent to discharge the flow to Westboro Water District and then to take to the Daly City treatment plant. When the work started on this project and more information became available, became obvious that based on those additional information, that is important and critical to have a analysis, a very detailed analysis done to compare those two different alternatives and to let the data and the information to really lead us to whatever recommendation will be better for the overall public benefit. Wang is a project manager for this project, and he did the detailed analysis comparing those two alternatives. Then the analysis was peer-reviewed by our consultant for the wastewater management plan, and then based on their comment, those were incorporated in our analysis, and what you will hear tonight, the result of the combination of those two efforts.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. The Olympic pump station is located in the northwest corner of the city, near the South San Francisco city boundary. And as you can see on the site map up there, the shaded area is the tributary area for the pump station. The pump station serves about 467 single-family homes, and it discharged into a force main that goes along Olympic Drive, makes the left turn south on Oakmont, and then it goes by gravity at the intersection of Evergreen and Oakmont. The next slide here shows the pump station on a street view. As you can see, the equipment on there are kind of antiquated and spread pretty much out there within the station. And regarding the current condition of the pump station, like I say, this pump station was constructed in the 1960s, and the station itself is in pretty decrepit condition due to its age. It is an outdated design. The drywall is where the pumps are located, where the discharge manifold is located, and also the pumps, they're located below ground, and it makes it difficult for maintenance employees to go perform the duty, they have to actually go down into the dry pit, and potentially this is a confined space, unsafe condition. They have to carry the tools down a vertical ladder with metal rung, and then go and perform their tasks within the pit. The pumps are also in need of replacement and requiring constant maintenance and repairs. There's also an antiquated generator that runs on natural gas, which is not the preferred method of generator. Now, then the more acceptable way is to have a self-contained diesel tank that is below the generator, so that in a real catastrophe that, natural gas might be shut off, and then the generator is essentially useless. The force main itself, it's about half a mile long. It's in poor condition due to its age. And all these conditions makes this a potentially SSO, which is sanitary sewer overflow prone situation. One important issue also is that consent decree with the baykeeper requires that the city make a determination on the Olympic pump station whether to rehabilitate the pump station or to abandon the pump station by December 31st of 2013, and also to complete all work by July 2018. As you can see, this is a picture of the dry well with a pump pit. And it's a relatively tight space for staff to work on, and even though it's intended to be a dry well, a pump pit, you can see it's at times it can get pretty wet from leakage of equipment, so therefore to make it an unsafe condition. Okay. Next picture here, it shows the antiquated emergency generator. It's definitely vintage, and it's runs on natural gas. So the detailed comparison and analysis of the two options, with option A being to create a sewer bypass and discharge to the Westboro Water District, and then eventually to Daly City, North San Mateo County Sanitation District. With option B is to replace and rehabilitate the pump station and also the force main. The detailed analysis of these two options compare the total cost and also other intangibles. For the cost comparison, the option A, of creating a bypass to Westboro Water District and Daly City, the total cost for 30 years as calculated is just about $12.6 million. And this cost included a one-time connection fee of $1.2 million to North San Mateo County Sanitation District. The city also to pay sewer user fee for the 467 homes to North San Mateo County Sanitation District. The city will also pay 15% of the annual operation and maintenance costs to Westboro Water District for the shared sewer facility that the sewage will be en routed to Daly City. And The costs also include a capital costs and annual operation maintenance for the tie-in sewer connection, which is a relatively short distance of pipe, about 200 feet from the pump station down the street to a manhole on Shannon that is in the city of South San Francisco. And it also takes into account the salvage value of the existing pump station. For option B, to replace the pump station and force main, the total cost for 30 years is calculated as right around $11 million. And this includes the capital cost for the design, the construction, and also staff salary for the replacement of the pump station. Then there is the annual operation and maintenance cost for the pump station and force main, and the sewer treatment cost to South San Francisco for the sewage of the 467 homes. In addition, we also take into account the salvage value of the new pump station at the end of the 30 years period. And now with the pros and cons of the two options. For option A, the sewer bypass to Westboro Water District and Daly City, the pros are the gravity system is definitely a more reliable system than the pump system. And with that sewer bypass connection, the city would not have to maintain a pump station or the force main. And one big plus of the option A is that it recognizes the value of regional service delivery, which is for different agencies to share their facilities and as well as services. On the downside, this option provide the unpredictable escalations in the North San Mateo County Sanitation District sewer user fee, and also the Westboro Water District, the capital improvement requirement, being that the city is required to contribute to 15% of Westboro Water District's annual operation and maintenance, including repair of the shared facilities. And another minus for this option is that there could be potential disputes over sanitary sewers overflows, the source of the cost of a sanitary sewer overflow, the property damage, maybe question of responsibility of any hazardous material that are being discharged into the sewer system. And now with option B, replacing the pump station and the force main, as you can see in the previous cost comparison, there is a slightly lower overall cost for option B to replace the pump station, $12.5 million versus $11 million. So it's an order of $1.5 million over 30 years. With the city maintaining the pump station and the force main, it would be more predictable for the city regarding the annual cost escalation in fees, sewer rate. Additional benefit is that the city will retain control, and that we can manage any of the associated risks with policy decisions. And plus, with the pump station and force main, the Westboro Water District connection can always still remain there as the Plan B emergency discharge location. So, in conclusion, the detailed analysis identified the pros and cons associated with each one of these two options. And the alternative, option A, to abandon the pump station and connect to the Westboro Water District and North San Mateo County Sanitation District, that option was previously thought of as an obvious preferred alternative. I mean, just construct a short piece of pipe, go over there, abandon the pump station, more cost effective, simple, and green. And now, with these detailed analysis, we realize that it's no longer that obvious. There are other issues to consider. And weighing the pros and cons, staff's recommendation is to go with option B, to replace the pump station and the force main. Thank you, and I'm here to answer any questions.
All right, any questions? Rico?
I just had two quickly, then I want to listen to my colleagues to better understand. On option one, you said there's the staff report to the director or manager, one-time connecting fee of $1.2 million, which I believe would be the 467 homes within the area that would get serviced. So if they're, and I'm just not understanding, but if they're already connected, why is there a fee? And I understand when we have Marisol or a new, project, you have to have a connection fee, and there's a cost associated. But I don't understand the $1.2 million to connect, a connection fee for something that's already connected.
Okay. The 467 homes currently discharged to San Bruno sewer system, and Daly City is requesting the one-time connection fee based on their current connection fee rate of $2,600 per home to connect to their system, to add to their sewer system. And that's why they're requesting the $1.2 million as the connection fee that is previously not within their system.
Okay, so I guess what I'm trying to understand and visualize, what are they doing for this $1.2 million? That, I understand there's a fee associated with things, but I'm trying to understand something that's connected and then you're switching it. And so maybe I'm just missing something.
From Westboro and Daly's city point of view, this would be a new connection to their system, and exactly how the city of San Bruno basically charges capacity charge. That $1.2 million is in essence a capacity charge, like the city requesting from any new connection to our system. That is their charge for those additional
So the $1.2 million is because we want you to operate or maintain this. Here's a $1.2 million bill, and we'll take it. Not they're doing a lot. They are doing a lot, but I mean they're taking that, and that's, you want to call it user fee, whatever the word you want to use. But that's $1.2 million.
Yes, in our fee structure is a capacity charge, and they are charging the same type of capacity charge.
I think in option B we said that there was a salvage value. So I guess that means, and when I hear that, I mean that to me that means you're selling. What are we salvaging that there's going to be value?
In salvage value means in the analysis we use the present value, which is to bring all the cost item expenses, out-of-pocket expenses for 30 years, converted into current day's dollar. So in order to count all the expenses, at the end of 30 years, we have a pump station that might still be of some value. There's some salvage value of the property. Some of the equipment might still be able to get a resale value, and that is being used as an offset, a credit. The salvage value is actually a credit applied to the total cost, an offset.
Does that mean, like, we're talking about the pipes that are in the ground and all of that, that is a salvage value in addition to the pump station, and that's where you're attributing that? So that means we would theoretically dig up the pipe in order to salvage it, which is, or am I, you can tell I'm not an engineer.
Based on the recent master plan study, the average lifespan of a pipe, a sewer pipe, could be in San Bruno area, could be as high as 90 years. So at the end of 30 years, we assign a salvage value because theoretically, we still have 60 years of lifespan of that pipe. And that value is something that the city will own. And so that is being applied as a credit.
Let me see if I could add additional thought. The idea in doing this analysis is to try and make an apples-to-apples comparison and to start with a blank sheet of paper to do a thoughtful, complete, apples-to-apples analytical evaluation. And in order to do that, it's an analytical tool, essentially, to be complete in including the useful life value of the asset at the end of the 30-year period. So we've done the analysis for the 30-year period, but there's still some life left in those equipments and fixtures. And so in order to do a complete analytical analysis or a comparison, you have to include that value. You're not going to dig up the pipes. You're not going to sell them. You're not going to, that is, you're not likely to do that. But in order to do the comparison for the financial value of each of the options, you need to include that value in order to make sure that you've compared thoroughly and carefully.
Just one final question, and for now, and I'll open to whoever, of course. On option A, and then versus option B, that also is taking into account all of the staff resources, vehicles, time, overtime, call-outs, testing, all of those attributes that would go on in a 30-year time. That also is equated into that A versus B?
That's correct. All the staff time, operation, maintenance has been accounted for both of different options in different ways, different amount, but accounted for in both options.
Anyone else? Ken?
I'm just trying to get my hands around this. Was there like a policy decision at some point that said we really don't want another city taking care of our residents? I mean, is that something that maybe we should decide on? I mean, this sounds like a lot of data, a lot of analysis and everything was done here. And I mean, for me, $1.2 million connection fee for just to buy into their system would have been the deal breaker. But now it's like we're really, there was like some real thought process in doing that. As a policymaker or decision maker here, I don't think that would be good business for us to do something like that. We've already got a partnership with South San Francisco. Now to get involved in Daly City, through South San Francisco, just because gravity is better, I don't know.
This is the time for that decision. and the input for the policy direction. That's the reason why staff is here tonight and asking your input and direction. Was necessary to conduct this analysis to be able to provide you with a certain level of information to help you to make those policy determination and decisions.
I'm just thinking that, I mean, why we even, just because it was so close to the border, is that why we went to that direction?
At that time, from a technical point of view and the overall public benefit point of view, seemed logical at that time that what really is mattered, the overall cost for the public. And jurisdictional barriers should not necessarily, in today's environment when you are sharing resources across the board with all of our agencies around us, would have made a practical and sense, then would have been a reasonable and logical solution. You always want to go gravity whenever is possible to save the ongoing maintenance cost and operational cost, the electricity cost, that always in long term, the tendency is that you will have some kind of benefit going gravity versus pumping. That was the initial point of view, and that's why staff went down on that direction and to research that alternative.
Well, I'm glad. I think I'm glad that keeping the system is $1.5 million cheaper over 30 years than sharing the system. I don't know how it would react because we answered, we asked questions answered questions saying that we didn't know what sort of control we'd have over Daly City. We didn't know what we'd be at, what our residents, those 467 residents would have to deal with. We don't know what's going to happen over the next 30 years. What if it was cheaper to do the bypass? I mean, that's the dilemma, and I'm glad I don't have to make that decision.
And was important to provide you with those information. At that time, staff didn't know about, okay, will be 1.2 million capacity charge, or didn't know the term of what kind of agreement would be feasible to reach. How you see in your document, you already have a draft document included. That means staff really went through those discussion and negotiation with Westboro and Daly City also to be able to provide with some information how that would looks like, what that really would mean for the city and for the residents, and also what the cost would be.
Thank you.
Through the
Anyone
chair,
else?
a couple of comments. I just want to say I think that if we do have a policy, it should be our policy to always look regionally at these solutions rather than trying to isolate our systems from their systems where it makes logical sense. I think, unfortunately, we weren't able to come to terms that were agreeable that would have made this cost effective, because it seems like that the Westboro solution was, from a technical standpoint, the better solution, but financially it didn't work out, which is unfortunate. But I do think we need to continue looking at those larger solutions, and so I commend the department on having the foresight to look into that, and I think we should continue to do that. And I also appreciate the level of detail in this report. We don't normally see something that's this detailed, and having that financial analysis really helps drive the point, so I really appreciate that, so thank you.
Irene?
I was just going to echo what Michael said. I really do appreciate what you've done, and I know all the pages we have in front of us took a lot of time and effort and thoughtfulness, so it does help with our decision process. Thank you.
I agree also. I think it's very important to at least have the analysis in front of us, whether it shows equal or some big disparity. I just like the idea of local control, especially what we've been through, seeing what we've been through the last number of years with SSOs and things. I think we have so much more local control. There's no guarantee that another agency signed up with us is going to increase rates on, have 467 homes in a city where everybody's paying the same thing except for 467 residences. It doesn't make sense to me, so I'm obviously for option B. Okay?
I
All
think
right.
staff has enough direction.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.